Fear. It's a feeling we all know, right? It can be a quiet whisper in the middle of the night, or a loud roaring giant standing in our way. It shows up without an invitation, often when we're most vulnerable. You might feel it when you get an unexpected bill in the mail, your heart feeling heavy with the weight of not knowing what's next financially. Or maybe it's the shadow that follows you as you walk to your car in a dark, empty parking lot. This feeling, as old as people themselves, has a way of making us feel small, alone, and completely by ourselves in our struggles. It tells us the world is a dangerous place and that we're just not ready to handle its challenges. For a parent, it might be the constant worry for a child's safety, a nagging what-if playing in the background every moment. For an employee, it might be the fear of losing their job, the ground feeling shaky under their feet as rumors of layoffs spread. But too often, it just builds a prison around our hearts, stopping us from living the full and rich life we were made for. Think about those times of deep uncertainty. You're waiting for the doctor to call with test results, and every phone ring makes your heart jump. But what if there was another voice? At the heart of the Bible, there's a song of incredible comfort, a divine promise written for every scared heart. It's Psalm 91. This chapter isn't just a bunch of pretty words, it's a powerful statement of God's protection over those who trust in Him. It starts with a beautiful invitation. He who lives under the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Imagine that for a moment, not just visiting, but dwelling. Making your home in God's very presence. The psalmist tells us that when we choose to live there, we find rest. We find a cool, comforting shade cast by the one who is all-powerful. This isn't a promise that life will be easy, but a promise that we'll never face it without protection. God is our refuge. God is our fortress. A refuge is a place you run to for safety when danger is near. A fortress is a stronghold, built to withstand any attack. The writer of this psalm tells us that God is both. You can say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. This isn't wishful thinking, it's a declaration of faith, a conscious choice to put your safety in the hands of the one who holds the entire universe. The main message of Psalm 91 is a powerful truth. Let's bring these old promises into our world today. How does this show up when we face modern fears? Imagine you're a young business owner who put all their savings into a new company. For months, things were going well, but now a sudden economic slowdown threatens to ruin everything. Orders are cancelled, customers are backing out, the bank is calling. Fear feels like a heavy weight on your chest. Or think about the parent whose teenager just got their driver's license. Every time that child takes the car keys and leaves, a wave of worry washes over them. They imagine all the possible dangers on the road. They see news reports about car accidents. Think about the fear that comes with a health crisis. You or a loved one gets a scary diagnosis from a doctor. Suddenly your world is full of unknown medical words, appointments, and a deep feeling of being helpless. The deadly sickness in Psalm 91 feels very real. It's a valley where it's incredibly hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So how does trusting God really change our experience in these scary situations? It starts with, a basic change in how we see things. When we face danger all by ourselves, our focus is on how big the problem is. The economy slowing down feels huge. The chance of a car accident is terrifying. Our fear makes the threat seem bigger, until it fills up everything we can see. But when we choose to trust God, we purposely move our attention from the size of the giant to the size of our God. We remember that we live under the protection of the Most High, the Almighty. Trusting Him gives us a special peace that, as the Bible says, is too wonderful to understand. It's a calm that just doesn't make sense to the outside world, because your hope is not tied to your problems, but to the unchanging nature of your protector. Building unshakable trust in God, especially during tough times, is something you do every day, not just a one-time decision. One of the most powerful things you can do is really dive into His promises. This means intentionally reading and rereading parts of the Bible like Psalm 91. Write them down on index cards. Put them on your bathroom mirror. Being around other believers is super important too. Lastly, keep a record of how God has been faithful. This will be a powerful personal reminder that the God who was faithful back then will surely be faithful now.